K, Gina revealed just how badly Diddy treated her.
In the beginning, like the first 3.5 years, the first 4 months, he was really nice. But then after that, he started being so like I say, like the first 3.5 years, he was like mean to me.
So when you say mean, describe it.
He was abusive. He was like always belittling me and always like he was like mentally, emotionally, and physically abusing me.
Diddy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the first time we've heard that.
Mm-hmm.
There was an incident, of course, with Cassie, where reporters are saying that the police were called because they got into an altercation. I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. Tell me some of the things that he would say to you.
He would always compare me to Cassie and tell me that I'm the bad one and she's the good one.
And he was with both of you guys at the same time.
Yeah.
Think you've heard everything about Diddy's drama? Think again. Gina Huyn's latest revelations are shaking the entire industry. So, guess who's allegedly stirring the pot and setting off a fresh wave of drama? None other than Gina Huyn. According to multiple whispers floating through Hollywood's gossip grapevine, Gina's been spilling secrets like it's open season. And this time, she's dragging Daphne Joy straight into the fire. While fans are still piecing together the full picture, one thing's becoming increasingly clear. Gina's not staying silent anymore. She's speaking up or leaking, depending on who you ask, and the timing couldn't be more suspicious. With Diddy already caught in a web of controversy, Gina's sudden reappearance and willingness to talk has people asking, what's her angle? Let's be honest, for those who've followed Diddy's long, complicated dating history, this isn't exactly shocking. Gina has always been somewhat of a mysterious figure in his life, known to pop up during quiet lulls or just as something explosive is about to happen. And for longtime fans, it's no secret that there's been an undercurrent of jealousy when it comes to the other women in Diddy's life, especially those who came after Gina. Gina isn't just another name on the list. She was there before the Cassie era, before the headlines, before the PR perfect relationships. She was part of Diddy's inner circle during the formative years, and insiders say that bond was intense, the kind that lingers, even after it fades from public view. Some say she played a much bigger role behind the scenes than anyone ever knew. Now, with Daphne Joy's name suddenly swirling in the same conversation, eyebrows are being raised. Daphne, a model and former partner of both 50 Cent and Diddy, has largely kept her private life under wraps in recent years, but Gina's alleged disclosures could change that. Some claim she's been making pointed comments about Daphne's role in Diddy's life, comments that paint a picture of rivalry, resentment, and perhaps even betrayal. What's unclear is whether Gina is acting out of hurt, strategy, or both. Some believe she's trying to reclaim her place in the narrative, a woman scorned, who's finally taking control of her own story. Others aren't buying it, chalking it up to jealousy and a need to stay relevant as Diddy's legal and personal troubles continue to mount. Either way, Gina's presence in this unfolding drama can't be ignored. Whether she's a whistleblower or a fight starter, her reemergence is adding fuel to an already raging blaze surrounding Diddy's world, as one industry insider put it. Gina knows where a lot of bodies are buried, figuratively of course. She's been around longer than most people realize. And if she's talking now, it's either because she feels safe, or because she's got nothing left to lose. With the truth starting to leak and names like Daphne Joy caught in the crossfire, the question now is, how many more secrets are waiting to come out? But let's be real, history doesn't always equal respect. And in Gina Huyn's case, being the original other woman in Diddy's complicated romantic web didn't exactly translate into long-term loyalty or public acknowledgement. Despite her deep roots in Diddy's inner circle, Gina often found herself pushed to the sidelines while he publicly showered affection on newer, shinier faces. That kind of treatment stings, especially when you've been around since the beginning. And over the years, that pain, it's shown. Perhaps nowhere was that tension more visible than in Gina's infamous online spats with Young Miami. The drama between the two hit a boiling point in 2022, when Gina posted a photo that sent the internet into overdrive, a cozy, intimate snapshot of Diddy planting a kiss on her cheek. It wasn't just a picture, it was a message. One that screamed, "I was here first." Young Miami, who had been very publicly involved with Diddy at the time, didn't take it lightly. she took to Twitter with a sharp clapback that went viral almost instantly, writing, "Somebody please give this bee some attention." Though she didn't tag Gina directly, everyone knew who the message was for. The shade was loud, and the subtext louder. But Gina wasn't about to back down. She fired back on Instagram stories, delivering a blunt and unapologetic message of her own. "If anyone's seeking attention, it's you, my D, I don't give an F." The back and forth quickly became a trending topic, with fans, blogs, and celebrities weighing in on the digital tug-of-war. Some sided with Young Miami, praising her for defending her position. Others sympathized with Gina, noting the emotional toll of being erased from a history she helped write. Behind the petty posts and viral quips, though, was something much deeper. A battle for recognition, power, and relevance in a world where women connected to powerful men are often pitted against each other for crumbs of validation. Gina wasn't just fighting with Miami, she was fighting to reclaim her place in a narrative where she felt overlooked, discarded, and replaced. And it's not just about romantic jealousy, it's about agency. For years, Gina played her role quietly, watching Diddy parade one relationship after another in the spotlight, while her own presence remained mostly in the shadows. But every so often, she'd pop up with a post, a cryptic message, or a subtle jab, as if to remind the world, "I was here. I still matter." Fast forward to now. With Gina allegedly stirring new drama and dropping names like Daphne Joy, and it's clear that the past isn't staying buried. That fire that sparked during the Miami-Gina feud, it never really went out. If anything, it's only gotten hotter, as more layers of Diddy's past continue to unravel publicly. Gina's voice, once dismissed as bitter or irrelevant, is starting to hit differently. Because maybe, just maybe, she wasn't seeking attention after all. Maybe she was trying to be heard in a world that kept turning the volume down. The digital fireworks didn't stop there. Gina continued, "Why you so pressed? Mama, thought you was a city girl." To which Miami responded, "I am, and that's why I'm with your man, and not letting go. Post all the pics you want. Get that head, bread, and leave." Savage. It was pretty clear Diddy had a favorite, and it wasn't Gina. That favoritism didn't sit well, and it might explain why she's now allegedly calling out Daphne Joy, another woman often linked to Diddy. Like Miami, Daphne held a special spot in Diddy's world, but favoritism doesn't always come with kindness. In fact, Gina claims she got the worst of it. During a candid sit-down with Tasha K, she opened up about how badly Diddy treated her. The first few months, charming, but after that, not so much. According to her, those first 3.5 years were rough, and Diddy turned cold fast. Her words painted a picture not just of heartbreak, but of years spent being mistreated behind the scenes. When Gina Huyn opened up about her past with Diddy, what she described went far beyond relationship drama, which painful and dark. She didn't mince words. He was emotionally, mentally, and physically abusive. He would constantly belittle me, she revealed, her voice steady but weighed down by memory. He tore me down in every way. Sadly, Gina's story echoes others we've heard before. Take Cassie, for instance. Reports from just a few years ago suggested a disturbing altercation between her and Diddy that got so serious police had to intervene. In Gina's case, part of the emotional abuse came through constant comparisons. "He'd always pit me against Cassie," she shared. "He'd call her the good one and me the bad one." The emotional tug-of-war was intensified by the fact that he was seeing them both at the same time. But the trauma didn't stop there. Gina revealed something deeply personal as she became pregnant with Diddy's child, not once, but twice. And both times, he pressured her to terminate the pregnancies. The first time was October 2014, she said. "I had only been with him since February that year." When she told him the news, his reaction was cold. He said, "You're going to get an abortion, right?" Then he offered me $50,000 to go through with it. Gina turned it down, not because of the money, but because she genuinely loved him and didn't want to be seen as someone only after his wealth. These deeply personal revelations may explain why Gina is now allegedly exposing others in Diddy circle, Daphne Joy included. Most people first got to know Daphne as 50 Cent's ex and the mother of his child. That's where the spotlight stopped until recently, when Lil Rod filed a lawsuit against Diddy. Shocking claims surfaced. Daphne, along with Young Miami and others, were allegedly being paid monthly to work for Diddy in, let's just say, very compromising ways. According to court documents, wire transfers from Robin Greenhill allegedly funded this hush-hush operation. what the documents described as part of an ongoing criminal enterprise. Now, if the rumors coming from Gina are to be believed, Daphne's time with Diddy was far from glamorous. Sure, people already knew Diddy was controlling during his infamous freak-offs, but what's surfacing now suggests that control extended beyond those private encounters. In fact, Daphne herself might have quietly confirmed it. A woman under the pseudonym Jane Doe recently testified in court, and while her identity remained hidden, clues from her testimony strongly pointed to Daphne. She mentioned her child's father being a famous rapper who has a well-documented feud with Diddy. Sound familiar? That would almost certainly be 50 Cent. The internet picked up on the connection fast. Jaguar Wright was one of the first to put the pieces together, publicly stating that Daphne was allegedly one of Diddy's bops and 50 Cent. He didn't stay quiet either. His public jabs at Diddy, especially in light of this lawsuit, seem to be more than just beef, they may be personal.
Not once, but twice, correct?
Yes.
Okay. When was the first time you became pregnant with Diddy's child?
The first time was October 2014.
Okay. So this was like, what, a year after?
No, not a year, but because I met him in February and then I got pregnant in October.
Oh, so the same year.
The same year.
Okay. And you mind telling me what happened with that pregnancy?
I told him, and he was like, you're gonna get an abortion, right? And then I was like, I don't know. I don't know yet. And then he offered me $50,000 to get rid of it, but I turned it down because I just loved him, and I was like trying to prove that I wasn't the girl that wanted him for money.
Okay.
I just
Apparently, before she was ever known as anything else, Daphne Joy was one of Diddy's so-called bops, and not in the glamorous sense. Some say she was already involved in that world before he even realized it. As one source bluntly put it, she was a Diddy bop first, he just didn't know. And the drama. It didn't just simmer in the shadows or stay confined to online rumors, it boiled over into the courtroom. That's where things took a dramatic turn, as a woman, identified only as Jane Doe, took the stand and began peeling back the tightly controlled layers of what life with Diddy was really like behind closed doors, though her identity was legally protected. Subtle hints and contextual clues throughout the testimony pointed directly to Daphne Joy. For those paying close attention, the breadcrumbs weren't hard to follow, and what they led to was a portrait of a woman deeply entangled in a relationship that was anything but straightforward. One of the most emotionally charged moments in her testimony came when she spoke about Diddy's high-profile romance with Young Miami. "I didn't sign up to date a man in a public relationship," she said, her voice reportedly laced with frustration and disappointment. To her, the situation felt like a slap in the face, while Diddy's bond with Miami was front and center. All smiles, parties, and Instagram moments, her own connection with him was kept deliberately quiet, almost invisible. The secrecy stung, but what hurt more was the glaring double standard, one woman being paraded in public, while the other was left in the shadows. The emotional toll was undeniable. According to Jane Doe, Diddy's relationship with Young Miami wasn't just a side piece situation, it looked and felt exclusive, from the outside. And while she was expected to remain loyal and low-key, he was out gifting cars and showering attention on someone else. That kind of imbalance cuts deep, especially when feelings are involved. The situation reached a boiling point when Diddy famously gifted Young Miami a brand new Maybach, a grand, headline-making gesture that made waves across social media. For Jane Doe, it was the final straw. In her testimony, she admitted that the gesture hurt so much. She confronted Diddy and asked for something of her own, not out of greed, but out of a desperate need for validation. Her request, Van Cleef jewelry. Diddy obliged, handing over the luxury pieces as what many are calling a peace offering. But those close to the situation say the damage had already been done. No amount of diamonds can fix the feeling of being hidden. One source familiar with the case remarked, and that sentiment seemed to echo in every word of Jane Doe's testimony. What's becoming increasingly clear is that behind the glitz and glamour of Diddy's public life, there was a separate world, one full of emotional manipulation, blurred lines, and women caught in silent competition for affection. attention, and acknowledgement. Jane Doe's testimony didn't just pull back the curtain on a private relationship, it cracked open the entire performance. And if she truly is Daphne Joy, as many believe, her story could mark a major turning point in how we understand the dynamics surrounding Diddy's inner circle and the cost of staying quiet. As for the infamous freak-offs, she said Diddy didn't use that term around her. He called them hotel nights. When asked why she participated in those experiences, her answer was telling. "I was just adapting," she said, "to my circumstances, my environment, and the pressure I felt from someone I loved." Her voice reportedly cracked as she added, "I went along with things I didn't feel I could say no to. I resent him for all of it. It's heavy, disturbing, even." But while Jane Doe's confession pulled back the curtain on years of quiet suffering, one person who might not be moved is Gina Huyn. In fact, knowing what we know about her own experiences and her rumored resentment, Gina may see this as confirmation of everything she's been trying to tell us. And according to those close to her, the level of control Diddy tried to exert wasn't just emotionally, was absolute. Turns out, Diddy wasn't the only one orchestrating wild nights. According to courtroom testimony, Jane Doe, widely believed to be Daphne Joy, may have joined in on freak-offs without Diddy's involvement. The focus of one intense cross-examination was a night in January 2024, when she allegedly ended up in a Las Vegas hotel suite alongside a world-famous rapper, a male escort, and a handful of others. Though the rapper wasn't named outright, Diddy's attorney referred to him as a true music icon. Many suspect the unnamed artist was Kanye West, especially given some familiar details. The trip was supposedly to celebrate the birthday of the rapper's girlfriend or wife, and the same male escort who once featured in Diddy and Jane's own hotel nights just happened to be there, too. Jane admitted she was caught off guard by the escort's appearance at the dinner. It wasn't just a dinner. Those present knew the evening would likely evolve into a drug-fueled escapade. Much like the three-way hotel encounters she had shared with Diddy during their 3.5-year relationship. Diddy, unsurprisingly, didn't take the news well. When he found out, Jane said he lashed out, accusing her of betrayal. "How could you go to another man's freak-off?" he allegedly demanded. His tone was reportedly filled with disbelief. "I can't believe you went outside of us." While the court focused on the facts, the streets had their own version, especially from Gina Huyn, who's become an unofficial narrator of Diddy's chaos. Gina reportedly claimed that Daphne would often cry after those hotel nights, and it wasn't just shame. According to Gina, Daphne was doing all of this hoping that Diddy would truly fall for her. The tears, she implied, were from heartbreak, not just humiliation. This aligns with what Daphne later admitted under cross-examination. She confessed to offering Diddy one of these hotel nights as bait to stop him from vacationing with young Miami. She told him, point blank, that if he chose to go on that trip, the fun would be over. Her tactic worked. Diddy reportedly cut his trip short, and in return, she arranged a Valentine's Day surprise to escorts, back-to-back, as a twisted romantic gesture. All of it paints a tangled, messy picture of power, control, desperation, and emotional damage. But here's the real question. Were Daphne's tears genuine remorse or part of a deeper manipulation to keep Diddy's attention? Was she heartbroken, or just playing the game? Let us know your thoughts. Was it love, strategy, or survival?